Last fall, I dug up all my pepper plants and decided I was going to keep them alive over the winter and replant them this spring. So in this video, I am going to reveal how they survived over the winter and show you what I'm doing with them now that it's warm enough to plant them outside. Hi, welcome to the Good Enough Garden. I'm Abby, and today I am bringing up my pepper plants from the basement. So last fall, I dug up all my peppers, 7 pepper plants that were doing really well, healthy, although they did have aphids on them. And I put them in pots, pruned them down really well so that they were just kind of like a main stem and a couple of little side stems, but took off most of the foliage and put them in 1-gallon pots with some potting soil and put them in my basement, in my creepy basement where I start seeds, and have just kept them down there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 months maybe. And they have been struggling. So even though I completely hosed them down with water and neem oil, I still had aphids pretty much the whole winter. And I would repeat that process, hose them down with water and neem, and basically every 2 weeks they would have aphids again. So that was really frustrating. And some of them did better than others, so let's take a look at the plants. Okay, so here are the peppers in these 7 pots, and they are in various states of health. This sweet banana is probably looking the best, and it's actually been outside for a couple of days, and I think ladybugs have found their way to eat any aphids that were on here. It looks pretty clean. It's got a lot of new growth. And we've got this jalapeno, and this one's actually 2 years old. I wintered it over last year, so it's the only one that succeeded last year. And I just brought it outside, and it is still got some aphid action in here. But hopefully we'll get that fixed and cleaned up. This one is clearly dead, and I don't know what it was, so I'm just gonna abandon that. Shishito, we had 1 dead and 1 alive, and it's looking like pretty clean at this point, so I'm feeling hopeful about that one. This Anaheim looks okay. It's not great. It's definitely could use some pruning, but I have hope. Ooh, the habanero. Now, it's got no leaves, but it is green, so maybe when it's got some time in the garden and extra water, it'll be happier. This looks pretty bad. What do we have here? Another Anaheim question mark? I don't know. I think it's got some life in it, so hopefully being outside will help it perk up. Let's get these planted. any roots, but it does have a tiny bit. Okay. So since the name aphid situation was so challenging, I'm gonna have a high bar for the success of this project. I really want to get peppers a lot sooner. So if I can be harvesting in like July instead of September, I think then it's worth it. And I will be comparing these overwintered second year peppers with some seedlings that I've started this year. I've got a couple different varieties and I've also bought some. So if my second year peppers produce a lot sooner than those, then I think it's worth it. If they don't, then I'm probably not going to try to overwinter again because the aphids were such a challenge. Now, if they don't have aphids when it's time to bring them in, that might be another story. And I always want to do everything, so I probably will try it again. But anyway, we'll see. I'm very curious to see how much further ahead this puts me. It'll be a fun experiment.